Good morning and welcome to the South Carolina Public Service Commission. We are here today continuing the testimony in Dominion Energy South Carolina Inc.'s 2023 avoided cost proceeding pursuant to South Carolina Code Annotated Section 58-41-20 subsection A. This is docket number 2025-15E. All commissioners are present in the hearing room. And Ms. Joanne Wessinger Hill, would you please give us the position as to where we are at this point?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. As the Chairman just mentioned, the hearing before you today is in docket number 2025-15E. The docket concerns the review and approval of the application filed by Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated on March 3rd, 2025, and the continuation of the hearing, which was adjourned on July 2022-2025 to reconvene today. The company's avoided cost application seeks approval and in some instances reapproval of previously commission-approved matters concerning the company's avoided cost methodologies and corresponding tariffs. The hearing was scheduled and noticed by the clerk's office to resume today for the purpose of the third-party consultant and expert to provide testimony on the report prepared pursuant to South Carolina Code Section 58-40-20, subsection I. Mr. Chairman, upon inquiry of all participating counsel of record, counsel for the parties are present and available for your call for appearances. The docket is ready to proceed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. We will now take appearances, starting with the company.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the Commission. My name is Chad Burgess. I'm in-house corporate counsel for Dominion Energy South Carolina, and with me today is Michael Anselmo from the law firm of McGuire Woods, who serves as the company's outside counsel.
Thank you and welcome, gentlemen. Carolina's Clean Energy Business Association.
Chair Powers, Richard Witt for SECBA, and General Counsel Burns is on. I'm sure he wants to introduce himself.
All right, welcome to you both. And
Good
also,
morning.
That was Mr. Burns, I'm sorry.
Good morning, Mr. Burns, and the Office of Regulatory Staff.
Good morning, Chair Powers and members of the Commission. Representing ORS, my name is Claire Binge, and with me today is Chad Torrey.
All right. Is there anything we need to take up before we begin the testimony?
Thank you, Chair Powers. On September 22nd, the company filed comments in response to the LEI report in this docket. We'd like to move the letter into evidence in the proceeding. I have physical copies if the Commission needs them, but I know your staff does a good job keeping y'all up to date up there. But we formally request to move the letter into the evidentiary record in the case.
Okay. Has the letter been provided to other parties?
Yes, they were all served with it. I have copies if they want to read it again today.
Is any objection from any party?
No objection.
Thank you very much. The letter then will be placed in the evidence and will be exhibit number 6. We have the letter.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Is there anything else to be addressed before we take the testimony? All right. Mr. Golding.
Yes.
I know we've had some difficulties this morning, but can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
All right. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I so affirm.
All right. It is, go ahead and proceed with whatever you want us to know.
Okay. Shall I start with a summary of my report?
Certainly.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to see all of you again today. I'm AJ Goulding. I'm the president of London Economics International, LLC, which I will refer to as LEI. LEI is a U.S. owned and operated economic consulting firm based in Boston, Massachusetts. I've had the pleasure of testifying before the Commission in both the 2021 and 2023 rounds of these avoided cost proceedings. I have over 30 years' experience in the energy sector, having testified before regulators and judicial bodies across the U.S. and Canada on issues as far-ranging as cost of capital, performance-based rate making, retail market design, market power, and procurement-related matters. I also serve as an adjunct associate professor at Columbia University, where I teach a course on electricity market design and regulatory economics and supervise graduate workshops. LEI was retained by the Commission to serve as an independent expert in the 2025 avoided cost proceedings. We were tasked with evaluating the avoided cost rates, methodologies, terms, calculations, and conditions proposed by Dominion Energy South Carolina. Following our detailed review and analysis, we filed our independent report in docket number 2025-15-E on September 4th, 2025. Overall, LEI supports the proposed stipulation between Dominion and the Office of Regulatory Staff, or ORS, which was filed on July 18th. The stipulation either adopts elements of Dominion's initial application, modifications recommended by ORS and its expert witness, or in some cases, commits to working together to explore certain issues ahead of the next avoided cost proceeding in 2027. With regards to avoided energy costs, the proposed rates agreed to in the stipulation are on average 3.2% higher than those approved in the 2023 proceeding for the PR-1 rate, which applies to qualifying facilities that are less than or equal to 100 kilowatts, and 18% lower for the standard offer rate, which applies to QFs less than or equal to 2 megawatts. To verify these proposed avoided energy rates, we deployed our proprietary electricity market simulation model, known as PoolMod, to arrive at an independent estimate using a set of credible assumptions. PoolMod is a production cost-based dispatch model that has been utilized for over 20 years for use in proceedings similar to this, as well as to explore electricity market design questions and assess performance of specific assets. Our modeling assumptions were generally consistent with those used by Dominion, except for slight differences in the natural gas price outlook. Despite these differences in assumptions, we found that our modeling results were between 4.4% lower and 4.7% higher than Dominion's proposed avoided energy rates, depending on the rate and the time frame analyzed, which falls within our zone of reasonableness of plus minus 10%. Our zone of reasonableness recognizes that modeling exercises are subject to significant uncertainty and thus have a range of plausible outcomes. Therefore, LEI finds that Dominion's methodology and the resulting proposed avoided energy rates agreed to in the stipulation are reasonable. As for avoided capacity costs, the proposed rate agreed to in the stipulation is 27% higher than that approved in the 2023 proceeding. The proposed avoided capacity rate will apply only to QFs under the standard offer during predefined winter morning hours. The increase in the avoided capacity rate is driven by a number of cost pressures in the economy, including significantly higher capital costs observed for building new peaking plants. This reflects the culmination of multiple external pressures currently impacting the industry, including supply chain constraints, which have materially extended turbine procurement timelines, as well as the rapid influx of anticipated data centers, which have increased competition for scarce generation equipment. We conducted a comprehensive review of the working files employed by Dominion and were also able to independently verify key cost assumptions using recently published, publicly available sources. As a result of this analysis, LEI believes that the proposed avoided capacity rate agreed to in the stipulation is reasonable. In terms of the proposed variable integration charge, or VIC, Dominion proposes a charge of $1.94 per megawatt hour, which represents a 30% decrease relative to what was approved in the 2023 proceeding. As noted by Guidehouse in its updated VIC study on behalf of Dominion, this decrease in integration costs is driven in part by the planned addition of flexible gas-fired and battery storage resources on Dominion's system. Overall, we find Dominion's proposed VIC to generally be in line with benchmarks that we reviewed, including recent ancillary services prices in PJM, as well as recent solar integration costs estimated by other utilities in the Southeast region. As another means of verification, we conducted our own illustrative solar integration analysis using our proprietary electricity simulation model, UMOD. Our modeling results suggest a VIC value in line with the $1.94 per megawatt hour charge proposed by Dominion. LEI is also encouraged by Dominion's commitment to establish a technical review committee ahead of the next avoided cost proceeding. The committee will assess the modeling, inputs, and assumptions underlying the determination of the VIC. This is in line with recommendations that we had made previously in the 2021 and 2023 avoided cost proceedings. LEI believes that this committee will be an appropriate venue to explore issues raised by ORS and its expert witness, including the feasibility of introducing compensated solar curtailment, as well as the appropriate fuel cost to assume for setting the cost of reserve shortages in the modeling. In our independent report, we also discuss other topics that could be explored by the committee, including whether demand response programs and transactions from the Southeast Energy Exchange market are or should be reflected in the modeling, as well as the choice of modeling tools. Turning our attention to the contract documents, namely the standard offer PPA, the form PPA, and the notice of commitment form, LEI notes that Dominion did not propose any changes to the contract documents previously approved by the Commission in the 2023 proceeding. Finally, in the LEI independent report, we opine on the longer-term recommendations made by ORS witness Zachary Ming. Mr. Ming's recommendations include considering incorporation of a coincidence factor, granular time of use blocks, and or a fixed capacity payment with a performance collar. Mr. Ming argues that these changes would increase the precision and accuracy of Dominion's avoided cost methodology. However, LEI believes that it is important to avoid falling victim to the fallacy of misplaced precision. Any changes to Dominion's avoided cost methodology need to be considered in the context of rate-setting principles, including balancing simplicity, stability and consistency, and providing clear price signals to QFs. This concludes my summary of the LEI independent report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Golding. Any questions by the company?
No questions, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any questions by SECIBA?
No questions, thank you.
ORS?
No questions, Chair.
All right. Commissioners, any questions? Hearing none. Let me thank you. All right. Is anything else from the company then? Or any party?
Nothing from the company.
All right. Well,
Mr. Chairman,
We need to get the report, I
That's
believe.
what I was going to ask. If I could,
Thank you.
may I move his report into evidence as the next hearing exhibit? The LEI report?
We would accept that for identification. It will be exhibit number 7. Any objection to that? All right. Nothing further, then we are.
Mr. Chairman, I would ask that the LEI report be admitted into evidence, not just accepted for identification.
All right. It will be admitted into evidence as exhibit number 7. Anything further? Well, thank you very much. We are adjourned.